Station of the Blue Devil Sports Network. Live from GRUB Durham.
Jackson on the right. We're on a 28th Street, going to fire a right wing three. Give it to her.
This is the Duke Women's Basketball Radio Show.
Goes to work, spins up a shot, count it, and a chance for three. Strong take by Donovan.
Our coverage of Duke Women's Basketball is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Alongside head coach Kara Lawson, here's the voice of Duke Women's Basketball, Chris Edwards.
Welcome to GRUB and our latest Kara Lawson radio show of the season. It is great to have you with us on the Blue Devil Sports Network tonight. Coach, great to be back with you. As always, great crowd here tonight and a lot to get into. Let's go back and talk about last week, the game against South Carolina on Thursday, the ACC opener yesterday. Big win over Virginia Tech. Just your takeaways from the two games this past week from your club.
Yeah, I thought the game in South Carolina, obviously we started in a big hole, and that hole proved to be too deep for us to climb out of against a team of that quality. And, that quality is one of the top teams, obviously, in the country and one of the best teams, deepest teams, talent, all up and down the roster. But we fought. And the resiliency that they showed, made an impression on me because every game you're learning more about your players and every game you're learning more about your team. And what they showed me was that they won't give up, that they'll keep fighting, that they'll push and try and force their way back into the game. And they did to make it single digits in that fourth quarter. I thought was a great testament to their effort.
They did that against Maryland, too, earlier in the season, to really fought back in that game against Maryland there in the fourth quarter. Do you hope that becomes one of the hallmarks of this team and of your program?
Well, not the getting down part.
Well, no, but the coming back part, the fighting through part.
Yeah, for sure. That's a mentality that we're trying to instill in them daily. The fight that you have to have every day as a player to fight for what you want. Really is what it is. I mean, you have to fight for what you want every day. Every day in practice, you have to fight for possessions. Every day in practice, you're fighting for playing time. You're fighting for opportunities. You're fighting out there, obviously, against the opponent. And so instilling that type of mentality in each of our players is a really important part of what we do.
We've talked a lot about the tough non-conference schedule that you played. Obviously, South Carolina, another one of those challenging opponents. How much does that schedule help you as we get into ACC play now? Being able to maybe mimic an ACC weekend as well this weekend where you got a tough game on Thursday, have to turn around and play another really good team on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's why we did it, was to make sure that there were very few surprises. It's hard to eradicate all of the surprises, but there were very few surprises in ACC play based off of our non-conference schedule that we've kind of seen a lot of different things. And I do think we're prepared for conference. We obviously still have two really important non-conference games before we get into the full conference slate, and we'll try to do our best to finish off the non-conference slate well.
What did you think about the effort overall yesterday against Virginia Tech?
I thought it was good. We played defense the way that I know we're capable, and that was something that I'd been looking to see from this team more consistently. And I thought the first half yesterday, they answered that challenge, and I think they had 8 points at the end of the first quarter and 22 at the end of the second. So that felt more regular to me. The high-scoring things have not been what I'm used to.
Yeah. How much did you talk about the defense coming out of South Carolina going into Virginia Tech with your team?
I think the thing that was maybe a little different was I talked about it more in the pregame yesterday than I probably would generally with them, and just emphasizing to them that our level has not been good over the body of work that we'd shown on the defensive end was below our standard to this point in the season. Does not mean that's who we are, just means that's who we've been. And so if you want to go from who you've been to who you want to be, then that requires work. You don't just get to close your eyes and wish and say, oh, I don't want to be this anymore. I want to be that. And it's going to happen. You have to work to try and get to where you want to be. And so it was just reminding them of that. Like, we have to work harder on this end of the floor to get to be the defensive team that we want to be.
To that point, are there fundamentals or keys that you have to have as a team to be a good defensive team like your clubs have been in the past?
Well, I told you I don't really do much of the work on the team. So it's mostly our assistant coaches,
Sure.
and I'm saying that truly.
Sure.
I don't do much work. So it's mostly them teaching and watching film, and I do a lot of other work. I'm not saying. I don't do any work.
I got it. I know. Yeah.
Okay, just clarifying that.
No, we got it.
Coach says she does no work. Yeah.
Breaking news
Yeah,
today.
breaking news.
Yeah.
She does nothing. But, I think I've said this before. Like, this is true. Like, the lion's share of your teaching, your daily teaching, is done by your assistant coaches.
Yeah.
That's how it's structured. And so they're the ones daily having the teaching sessions with them offensively and defensively. They're the ones executing the drills in practice. And, they're the ones, we're all watching film and trying to see where we can improve. But all of the good things you see out on the court from our team stems from the teaching that occurs daily by the assistants.
How much do you rely on players that have been in your system for a couple of years or 3 years, Reagan, Ash, etc., that have been through what it's like to be one of those really good defensive teams to help teach some of your younger players the fundamentals on that end of the floor?
We rely on them a lot because they have an understanding not just of the coverages and the schemes, but they have an understanding of the level that you have to play at to be successful. And Reagan Richardson, continues to play defensively at a high level for us. Fundamentally, she's so sound, and I'm going to miss her a lot next year for many reasons, but really just her reliability and her dependability on the defensive end. And it's stuff that doesn't always stand out. She's not necessarily blocking shots or getting steals all the time. But she's so sound in what she's doing most of the time, and her angles are really good, and her effort is really good. And so, that helps us a lot. I think that steadies us a lot, that Reagan is able to be that reliable.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back, talk more defense and more basketball with Coach from GRUB after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Going to hoist up a three. How about another dagger?
This is Duke head women's basketball coach Kara Lawson. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. They offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd will rise as one, and what a statement, and what a win.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
'Tis the season for family and friends. 'Tis the season for gifting. And 'tis the season for making holiday dreams come true. 'Tis the season for using the old-timey contraction 'tis. And 'tis the time of year for holiday scratch-offs. With over $85 million in total prizes, 'tis the best gift of all.
'Tis the season to gift endless joy with holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson, on this Monday night. Thanks for joining us for the Kara Lawson Show. It is great to have you with us. And, Coach, you were talking, before we went to break, we were talking about defense, and you mentioned angles for Reagan. For maybe the novice basketball fans that are out there that are coming to the games, watching the games, when you talk about angles on defense, what do you mean by that?
So I guess the easiest description would be like a closeout angle. So if you're in or guarding the ball angle. Let's say you're guarding the ball handler. That might be easier than close out. You're guarding the ball handler. There's a certain way your feet are angled when you're guarding the ball handler. And for our system, there's a proper way for them to be angled on every position on the floor. Sir, 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 sir. In the right corner, on the wing, in the slot, which is like not the top of the key, but the halfway between the top of the key and the wing.
Sure.
We call the slot. And so if your angle is poor, you can be beaten easier by the defender. If your angle is good, then you give yourself the best chance to keep them in front. Even if your angle is good, you can still be beat.
Yeah.
But it gives you the best chance. So then if you make that a little harder, so like guarding the ball, you would think someone guarding the ball would be able to figure out their angle because they don't have to move a lot. But now, let's say you're in help side and the ball skips, and you're running now to guard the ball. So now, at full speed, you have to now run and close out at that angle. Precisely.
Yeah.
Especially against good players. So that's what she's excellent at. Her precision in her angles, very.
Talking about Reagan.
Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reagan's good at that, and she came that way. I bet they didn't do anything. No, I'm being serious. She was like that when she got here.
You gotta stop saying you don't do anything. You do
No,
it.
no, I'm saying, well, because I think it's important for people to understand that, like, coaching sometimes is like a little overrated in the sense that, in terms of what, it depends on the player. But there are certain players, like I talk about this with Alucci. Like I didn't create Alucci.
Sure.
She's how she was born.
Yeah.
I didn't. Reagan came this way. I didn't create Toby.
Mm-hmm.
She came this way. So there's credit due to their parents, their youth coaches, their high school coaches, the players themselves, and sometimes coaches we just think we can take all the credit for something that we didn't really have a big part on. Now, do I hope in 5 years Akanawa says, "Man, coach really helped me"? Yes. Like, do I hope help me grow?
Yeah.
Like, do I hope that that's their experience when they leave here? Absolutely. But these guys are talented. They came in talented. They came in with intelligence and competitiveness and talent. So for me to try to usurp some of the credit, I just feel like it's not honest.
And since you brought up Alucci, Barbara, who's here tonight, one of the audience members has a question. Has Alucci's mom ever mentioned whether or not she wore out her mom trying to keep up with her when she was a toddler, talking about all the energy that Alucci seems to have?
No, she has not said that. But her mom is an amazing woman and is very devout. And and her name is Patience.
Wow.
Yes. And so I am quite certain there was a lot of prayer going on in that Conway household.
I would imagine.
Yeah, she's a beautiful lady, and we're lucky to have Patience in our family as well.
To kind of wrap it up this defensive conversation, where are the areas your team can still improve defensively as we close out non-conference and get into ACC play?
Well, I would say every area, but I'd like to give you a better answer than that. But we do need to improve in every area. I would say, well, the matching up thing has been an issue for us. I thought we were a little better yesterday, so that's good. Understanding who we're guarding and what type of shots we want those players and those teams to take, and that can change, obviously, based off of the player's ability. So that is something I hope that will improve for us as we go through ACC play.
How much have your freshmen and sophomores in particular impacted your team on the defensive end of the floor in a positive way this year?
Very much so. Our sophomores, we're asking them to play like veterans, just like we did last year as freshmen. I think Delaney, the last 4 or 5 games has been
Yeah.
High level.
Yeah.
High level. And I'm not even talking about the scoring. The scoring, great. Her reliability defensively, her physicality, her understanding of our scheme, and to be able to be more flexible mentally this year. Her communication, just like all of that is just like getting better. So I love that, and she is just kind of owning being a leader for us, the defensive end that we've talked about, we've needed, and I think her consistency is allowing for her to do just that.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and have more with Coach from GRUB after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Oh, correct.
All right, guys, back again, and I will tell you that this next question has an impact on the rest of the questions for the night. So this is important, okay? Important question here. Who are the 3 Duke players that have the jersey retired?
Partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drink Driving, and Uber.
Correct. You got it. I told you this one was not that hard, but they impact the other ones later, okay?
Prestigious Learfield Directors Cup is the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season. You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Blue Devils Sports Network. We were talking about the sophomore class before we went to the break, and you mentioned Delaney. We talked about Alucci as well, and mainly from a defensive standpoint. But, man, the offense has really been coming from those two the last couple of games as well. They've seemed to show tremendous growth on that end of the floor.
Yes, I'm really proud of both of them. And I'm really proud of both of them because their work ethic daily, their consistency with their practices and also outside of practice. Before practice, after practice, their diligence with their body. All of these things have been at a high level for both of them for months. And you feel, very just excited and happy for a player when they have been putting work in day after day, week after week, month after month, and they have good games. And so I really appreciate that about both of them. They have been two of our best workers. And I'm a firm believer, consistency of work over time will give you consistency of result. And so it is nice to see, and completely unsurprising that they both started off the season probably a little below what they would have hoped in terms of their play, offensively and defensively. But they didn't allow that to throw them off. They just stayed consistent with their work and just waited for it to turn. And it has for both of them, and hopefully they'll able to play like this the rest of the year. But my experience tells me there's going to be another valley.
Yeah.
For every player at some point, right? It's just how the game goes and how life goes. But I know they're built to last because of what they've shown me the last 6-7 months.
Yeah, there's the word process is kind of like an in vogue phrase or term now, but I think it's applicable here because like if you are committed to your process and trying to get better every day, it usually pays off, does it not? And I think that's true maybe in life and not just in basketball.
Yeah, I'm going to correct you.
Okay, please do.
You have to be committed to my process, not your process.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Sure there is.
Because sometimes a young player's process is not a process. It's just do what they do, what they've always done.
Right. Yeah.
So, yes. And that's not mine. I'd say Duke's process.
Right.
There has to be a commitment to our process. And, yes, if you commit to our process and how we do things, it's undefeated. It works. So you just have to commit to it. And it's not like, I say this all the time, it's not a diet. Or I should say it's like a diet. If you commit to your diet for a week, it doesn't work. It has to be, day after day, week after week, month after month. And so that's a hard thing sometimes with the young, is they want to be committed to our process for 2 weeks. And then at the end of 2 weeks say, am I good now? No, definitely not. Longer. With
Delaney in particular, she was 6 of 8 from the field yesterday, 7 of 7 from the field against South Carolina on Thursday. Seems like she's getting really good looks within the framework of the offense, but also knocking them down.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is our best screener. Okay? And there's great value in being a good screener, but most people, when you say to them someone's a good screener, they will automatically think in their head, selfless, just screens, like that's like the offensive lineman of the team. No, screeners score. So you actually want to be a really good screener because when you set good screens, you score. And she has gotten really good and has worked on watching her film. Angles on screens are really important. Don't just run down the set. What angles do you set? Then you have to be smart enough to read where the defender goes, where your defender goes, and then you find the opening. She's doing that at a high level. And then the other player I want to compliment for last night's game, at least, is Reagan. Had a career-high 7 assists.
She did.
And, Reagan is getting a lot more attention from defenses, as she should. So she's coming off of screens, and they're bringing 2 people to her. They're bringing extra attention to her, and her shots that were there maybe early in the season aren't there. So Reagan now has to make split-second decisions and find the open player. Because if there's 2 on her, that means there's 0 on somebody else. And I thought last night, those 7 assists, Reagan was doing that. And that's a great sign of growth and maturity for Reagan. Not that she didn't do it before, but, Reagan, we're growing to be a total player, not just a scorer. And so in a game where that's what the defense is doing, can she still impact the game? And I think Reagan could have 10 assists in the game this year, depending on how the defense plays. And Reagan's already proven she's also a player that could have 30 points in a game, right? She's also a player that can guard the best offensive player on the other team. And so I was really proud of that stat for Reagan last night. And Delaney was a beneficiary of a bunch of those from Reagan off of those screening actions.
And I think Mayer playing really well, too. Yeah.
Yeah, my point guards are doing well. I'm very pleased, and their assist to turnover ratios are high. They're shooting the ball very well, efficiently from two-point percentage and from three-point percentage. They're leading our team. So I'm very happy. Defensively, they have to keep getting better, and they know that, but that's the whole team. It's not just isolated to our point guards. Our whole team has to get better. That's why I talked to them about it yesterday before the game. But I'm very pleased with our point guards. And yes, Mayer, I think, had 5. And I think V had 3. No turnovers. Yeah, so that's great.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, answer some audience questions from GRUB after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. That ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family. It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt. Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake. And get them back in time for the big game. Yeah, let's go! Let's go. With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
The tradition, the rivalry. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On ACC Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, coaches shows, and more. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See all the details at SiriusXM.com/ACC Sports.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Carol Lawson. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Blue Devils Sports Network. We got some questions from the audience. We've got some social media questions, too. We actually have some good social media questions this week. The first one is from our friends at Duke University. How about that?
Social media?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Our friends at Duke U Social.
Okay.
How do you balance between coaching and managing life's important moments?
My life's important moments, or the players' life's important moments?
I think you can take it ever how you want to take it, Coach.
Oh. I mean, I don't look at like that I have to balance anything. I think you just have your schedule for your day and try to be thoughtful about our calendar in terms of when we're on. Obviously, it's hard to take days off in the season because we're going nonstop, but try to be mindful of the off season and making sure that there's time away, not just for me, but for everyone on our staff to be able to have time with their families and then, enjoy that time, So our big family vacation this summer was to Paris for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And so my mom and 2 sisters and my brother-in-law, my niece, my nephew, they all came. And so that was, 3 weeks together. I was working, but they were having a good time. And but I got to spend a lot of time with them there.
That's great. There's a couple of high school basketball coaches wanting to know what your practices look like before game day.
Before game day, we'll work on the scout, which is obviously what the other team runs, their plays, and certainly how they defend. Mm-hmm. And you talk about how you want to guard them and scheme in your scheme and what that's going to be, and make sure that the players have the reps to be able to get it down. And then on the flip side of the ball, we're talking about how we want to attack. How do we want to attack the other team's defense? What do we see are the areas that we feel like we can exploit? And then, we go through, we rep that. We go through the game plan, go through the plays. And, there's other other things we do, we'll play some live up and down against our scout team, just to get some up and down the day before a game. Not long, but just make sure that we're sharp and we're getting some up and down. But it's a pretty, normal routine.
Liz Anders in our audience tonight. I feel like I've seen Camilla Imsbo on the sideline. Is she or her twin sister working in some capacity with our post players?
No. Camilla is around, though, and she's obviously invested in our program and loves to see the team have success. But she is finishing her degree in global health from Duke this year, and so she's finishing that up. So she's around because she's in school, and she comes by and it's always great when we get to see Camilla.
Great to see her. Celia, what happens when someone you're recruiting chooses another school? Do you have to cut off contact after you've developed that relationship?
Yes, you do. You have to cut off contact. By NCAA rule, you can talk to any player unless they've signed somewhere. But we, as a program, stop talking to them once they've committed somewhere. I feel like once a player's committed, you should kind of go your separate ways and honor that player's choice. So that's what we do. Yeah, we stop talking to them. But, we say goodbye and everything.
Sure.
It's not like...
you're not going to ghost somebody.
No, it's not like that.
Deb, who's here tonight, how do you see Cotton fitting into the rotation as the season progresses?
Yeah, I think Cotton is continuing to grow as a freshman, and really the practices, what we emphasized with our freshmen is that your performance in practice is your consistency in practice is really important. Not just we emphasize with our freshmen, with every player. Your consistency in practice is really important. So she continues to grow and continues to find that consistency. Then she'll have the same opportunity everybody else has to have more minutes. She's a talented player. She can pass. She can score. She has a great mind for the game offensively, defensively. She understands concepts and schemes. So it's all out there for her. It just comes down to the consistency of it.
We're going to visit with Karen Lane coming up here in just a second. But just from you, maybe a note on Karen and just how much she impacts your program on a daily basis.
Yeah, Karen impacts our program in every way. She's one of the best teachers that I've been around in terms of teaching the game to players. She has a good calmness about her. And so, I think they all draw straws before the game as who gets to calm me down. And Karen's first year, she drew that one a lot, man. But she does have a calming presence, and she's just tactically very sound. Very good with suggestions, and not just suggestions, decisions within the game. She runs our defense for us, and so. Changes in scheme that need to be made throughout the course of the game. She's definitely leading the charge on that, and then a great developer of talent as well. She works every day with Ashlyn and Reagan and Emma, and you can see the growth in Ashlyn and Reagan and Emma's games through the course of their career, and a big part of that has been Karen's work with them daily. So all of those things, we're very lucky that she's here at Duke. We're very happy to have her and her family at Duke, and it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot from her, and that's what you want. You want to have a staff that can teach you a lot.
All right, we're going to visit with Karen when we come back to GRUB after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Blue Devil Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
I feel happy, Valero Pay Plus app.
I feel happy, it makes savings a snap.
Use it and start saving automatically.
You just save some money, not too shabby.
I feel happy, I'm in and out real fast.
I feel happy, now pit stops are a blast.
Download today and get in on the fun. Valero Pay Plus app, your savings have begun.
We're back at GRUB as the Kara Lawson Show continues on this Monday night. Thanks so much for joining us, and we are happy to have with us Karen Lang. Karen, good to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Coach was just talking about the work that you do with the defense, and we've been talking a lot about defense tonight, so you're a perfect person to ask just about where you see this team defensively and the growth that you still want to see from this team on that end of the floor.
Yeah, she was talking about how bad it was, right? I mean, I'm in charge of it. No, I think it's with every year, even though we have a lot of returners back from the defense that we had last year, you still threw out some pieces, you added some pieces, you still are teaching. And I think every year it's like anything, you have to continue to rep it and rep it and rep it. And just because you were good last year doesn't mean you were going to be good this year with majority of the same people. And so I think we're making progress. I think I think numbers are skewed a little bit in the sense of I think we've played some really high-level offensive teams this year that have challenged us. I think we're playing at a faster pace offensively as well. That gives other teams more possessions as well. So I think the number that I would like to see improve the most is just overall team's field goal percentage. I still think it's too high. The numbers scored on us, like total points scored on us, I'm not as panicked about that because I do think we're playing at a faster pace.
Sure.
You're giving people more possessions. We've played some high level. I mean, Maryland, Oklahoma, and South Carolina offensively in the country are very good by number. And so I think there's improvement needs to be made. I think the biggest thing is it's not one individual. We have to be good on the ball, but we have to be great behind the ball. And we haven't been either of those things yet. But it's coming.
Yeah.
We're capable. We're capable of being as good, if not better, to be honest with you. But we got to work at it.
Tell me a little bit about, since you work with Ash and Reagan and Emma kind of on a daily basis, their growth as people and as players.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I mean, I think that's the best thing about coaching is taking young people from the start all the way through their career and just really seeing them grow more as people. I mean, obviously, our job is to get them better as basketball players and to improve their skill. And I think when you get to this level, there's like minute improvement that not everybody on the outside sees drastically, but like we see it, year to year, even within a season, how much that is. But more of it as people, like you have a chance to really develop them as young women, when they get out of this sport and mature. And that's the fun part about it. They're they're just good people, just like the rest of our team. They give us everything they have every single day. Everything is yes, ma'am. Everything is what can I do better? Everything is yes, I know I need to be better. Their routines are good. They're disciplined. They're just so nice to coach, easy to coach. I want to say in that way, but at the same time, like you're still, trying to press buttons to I think it's really human nature for people at that age to settle and to say I'm good. This is where I'm capable of being, and I think it's our job as coaches to be like, yeah, you're not even close to where you're capable of being, and to push them further than that and the expectation of that. And so they allow us to do that. and that's fun. I enjoy that.
Reagan, we were talking about her earlier with the 7 assists that she had yesterday for her career high. Just impacting winning, and Reagan just does that in so many areas, as Coach was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's even that, her maturity to be excited about that stat and not scoring 20 points, because again, I mean, I think she's learned, you're not going to score. I mean, we'd love for you to score 35 every night, every game, but that's not going to happen. And, there's things that we've talked to her about being better about, having a positive assist-to-turnover ratio. Right now she has that. Being a better rebounder. She's been doing that better. I think one game recently, she had eight rebounds. She now has had a game where she's had 7 assists. So, the great thing about our people is they do what we ask them to do. What we emphasize, they really try to go out and do it. And, like Kara was saying, we're just trying to make her overall all-around solid player for the next level, of understanding what her dream is to go play in the WNBA, play professionally. It might not all be about scoring for her at that level. She got to guard at the next level, both ends. You have to, or be a two-way player. You got to be able to do other things besides score it, because it's not going to be as easy. And I think she's growing into that, which is really exciting to see.
Tell me how special it is to be able to work with your college teammate, Coach Tia, every day.
I mean, it's a blast. It's probably the most fun I've had in any situation I've been in. And then now we got Kara and Elsie together, and now they're teammates. And so we got the Tennessee-Iowa combination together.
Did
it's
they
great.
play this week? Did they play?
I don't think
Tennessee play Iowa.
Don't fall for this, Chris. Move on to the next question.
I don't know. Did they?
Move on to the next question.
Am I supposed to answer this question?
Move on.
Well, that was my next question. Is this little banter now? Coach has talked about before how it was a 2-on-1, right? And now it's a 2-on-2. So the playing field seems pretty even in the office.
But you forgot in the 2-on-1, she was the Olympian. So she had no problem handling the 2-on-1. Although Tia and I were the number 1 defensive team in the country, she had no problem handling the 2-on-1. But no, I mean, it's great. Obviously, I think our whole staff, the best thing about is working with all of our people on staff. I mean, we just a great experience. We've all done this for a long time. We've seen different things. We've been around different players. We've worked on different staffs. I think we're the collection of us is we're all in this together. There's no ego. There's fun. You got to have fun in this. Tia, I mean, you guys know, is by far the most loved person out here. But, and you got to trust people that you're sitting across from. And you got to trust that, we don't agree necessarily on every single thing that we say. But but that's fine. But I trust that, we're good, and that's not going to carry over to anything that we're doing. We understand we come together and work as a team. And so, you establish that as a teammate, and you just know that whatever happens, whether it's basketball or off the court, anything that happens, you have a family here outside of your own family. And that's not just with Tia, but that's with everybody.
You got a hooper at your house.
Don't tell him that.
No. Someone came up to me at Champions Club yesterday when he walked in and was like, that guy's a heck of a basketball player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a nice compliment.
Can you give me a scouting report on him?
Make him go left. Be in his airspace on the catch. He can shoot the 3. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As I let you go, give me 1 or 2 things to improve on as we finish up non-conference play and get into ACC play.
I'm going to say defense is what I always say. But, no, I think our ability to guard the ball, and really more than anything, our ability to help. Our connectivity defensively has just got to continue to get better and better. And that won't necessarily show up on a stat to say that we've gotten better in that area. But our ability to do that. And then I think just the consistency from game to game from more players. I think we've seen, we've had, 4 different people almost score 30 points or have 23, 25, 35, 30, 27 last night by Toby. Alucci can go off for that. So, man, what would that look like if we can get all of them in the same game playing at that level?
Not if, but when.
Right. Yeah, so I think just that mindset of, the mindset for me of attacking people defensively and offensively hopefully can continue to improve.
I love it. Karen, thanks
Yeah.
for doing this. Happy holidays to
Thank
you and your
you.
family.
Appreciate it.
Karen Lang with us. We'll be back with more from GRUB in a moment on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Content AT, Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils.
Going to hoist up a three. How about another dagger?
This is Duke head women's basketball coach Kara Lawson. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. They offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd will rise as one. And what a statement and what a win.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at Two Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable. We can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at twomenandatruck.com.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Thanks for joining us for the Kara Lawson Show here tonight. Coach, we've gone this far into the show and really haven't even mentioned Toby yet. 27 points yesterday. Named the ACC Freshman of the Week today for the second time in 3 weeks. Those 27 points, by the way, the most by a Duke freshman in their ACC opener in program history. So Toby with some history yesterday. Can you just kind of speak to her growth and what you've seen from her since she maybe arrived on campus to now through the first ACC game of the season?
Toby arrived on campus, and it was no different than every other freshman in terms of it's just a lot to get used to from day one, from the practices to the school, the schedule, having every day scheduled, and down to the minute almost, and she's just steadily gotten better and better in every area. She's our most productive player when you look at kind of like per minute. When she goes in the game, she scores and rebounds. That's what she does. She's wonderfully talented at finishing. She's got a great competitive mindset. She wants to be really good. And she is just learning and growing, each day. So, I'm not surprised. Like, there's very few things Fournier does that surprises me. She's very good, and she's going to be a very good player here.
Barbara, who's in our audience tonight, said, like yesterday when you put both Delaney and Toby in the game in the same time. Can you speak to that, just that lineup, that bigger lineup?
Yeah, they weren't in foul trouble.
That's right.
I mean, if you look at the games earlier, I'm not saying that to be funny, but typically either one of them every game has been in foul trouble in all of our games, and so that limited my ability to play them together. I thought I would have played them together more to this point, but they were both playing really well. I didn't felt like the best opportunity for us to win, not just win the game, but extend the lead was play the two forwards that were playing the best. And it's the same at every position, right? I'm going to play the three guards that are playing the best. And so if you want to play the best, that day. And you're going to get the extended run. And Delaney's been as reliable, or the most reliable forward that we've had the last 4 or 5 games. And Toby was playing terrific. So it wasn't Well, rocket science, you know.
We talk a lot about growth as players, and we talked about freshmen a little bit too, and their growth. And I'm sure there's a little bit of a learning curve for some freshmen. Maybe some figure it out a little quicker than others. How do you navigate maybe one freshman coming along a little quicker than another one?
Well, I think they can come along quicker in different ways. You know, some of them physically is more of a challenge when they get here. You know, maybe that's for fitness, maybe that's strength, maybe that's you know, physically, defensively, they're maybe not quick enough to guard. Some it might be mentally. They're not used to maybe the playbook being as thick, or the type of schemes that we play is maybe the first time they've ever had to run those schemes. So now their adherence to the scheme is not as consistent because it's their first time going through it. So I think it just depends. So you just kind of have to evaluate where they are, and then you have to figure out as a staff how to improve them. You have to be able to evaluate your players, like where they are, like how good are they in all these areas, and then you have to put a plan together to get them better.
Let me ask you about Jordan Wood, who celebrates a birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Woody.
To Jordan.
Yes.
Yesterday, a couple big three-pointers in that game. It really seems like she's showcasing the ability to be a scorer at all three levels for your team.
Woody is very talented. She's very skilled. She can shoot, obviously, and she provides, you know, a uniqueness to us at the forward position because she's can consistently hit those threes, although Fournier may beg to differ.
Well, they called it a 2 yesterday on that one that Toby hit. I thought that was a 3 for sure. I thought she should have had 28, but that's just me being greedy maybe.
That was incorrect. I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there.
Wow.
But Fournier has shown the ability to hit him as well. But Woody's consistently shown him. And so that stretches the floor for us. It provides us with, you know, some really good spacing. And she's been a better rebounder. I'd like her to get back to being more consistent. I think she had a game. She had 13. Like I think Woody can get 5 or 6 a game for us. And so, and then she's a really good passer. She's a very good passer and a very good cutter. And she's also one of our best communicators, actually, too. She's one of our best communicators out on the court in terms of what we're doing and helping people get to the spots that they need to be in. So she just does a lot for our team. You know, I'm really proud of Woody and the jump she's made from freshman to sophomore year.
How important was it for your freshmen, but your team as a whole, to experience an ACC game like that yesterday before we get into the holiday break?
Well, we just talked about how important it is to win and protect your home court in the ACC, and then you know how difficult these games are. So anytime we come away with a win in the ACC game, I'm happy because they're really hard to win, and so it definitely felt good to have a win.
You liked the ACC game before the Christmas break?
Yeah, I don't really care about those things.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and wrap things up with Coach from GRUB right after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
I feel happy, Valero Pay Plus app.
I feel happy, it makes savings a snap.
Use it and start saving automatically.
You just save some money, not too shabby.
I feel happy, I'm in and out real fast.
I feel happy, now pit stops are a blast.
Download today and get in on the phone. fun. Valero Pay Plus after savings have begun.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family.
It was epic, Zach.
And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt.
Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake.
And get them back in time for the big game.
Yeah, let's go! Let's go.
With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson, as we wrap things up here on this Monday night. Thanks so much for joining us. Coach, the month of December is kind of an odd one from a basketball calendar standpoint. You played so much in the month of November. Now you get into finals and the holiday break, and really seems like a staccato month. Only 2 more games left this month for your team. How do you balance, the exams, the holiday break, still keeping your team sharp throughout the final month of the calendar year?
I think it's good that they get some time off, especially after a long semester academically. It challenges them here at Duke, and so it's nice for them to have some time away from school. And so I think that's a good part about December is they have that mental break from studying. And then what is also good about December is they get time at home with their families for Christmas. And I think that's important too. They tend to come back refreshed, recharged, and ready to go. So I don't mind that there's some breaks in there because I think it gives them kind of that last recharge before we're kind of going pretty hard for those 3 months.
Does it also give you a chance to kind of take inventory of your team and really work on yourself during this downtime where you're not playing games twice a week?
A little bit, yeah. We'll work on ourselves some this week for sure. We'll try and see if we can improve and get better. So that's definitely a part of December.
We got a question about the teddy bear toss yesterday and how many teddy bears we collected. And Bull, correct me if I'm wrong, we had 500 bears collected yesterday, right? Yeah, 500 teddy bears collected for Duke Children's Hospital yesterday. Can you? Awesome. Yeah, isn't that great? Can you speak to the relationship that your program has with Duke Children's and just the work that they're doing, not just in our community, but for kids all over the country?
It's really an amazing place when you go over there and get a chance to meet not just the children, but their families, all of the people in the hospital supporting those children, the doctors, the nurses, the workers, everybody. We enjoy going over there, and we will hand deliver all those teddy bears that our fans tossed yesterday. We will hand deliver them over this holiday break to the children over there.
Really puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Like how thankful we should all be for all that we have.
Definitely, and just inspires you.
Yeah.
I mean, inspires you the strength and the fortitude of those young kids over there fighting. For me, it inspires me to keep pushing for sure.
Let me ask you about a couple of Duke athletics items. Congratulations to Coach Diaz and the football team. 9-win season. They're going to the Gator Bowl on January the 2nd. Really impressive work by Coach Diaz this year.
Yes. I'm a big Duke football fan. And the Duke football team, our players really support them. Our players love going to the games. I go to the games as well, but our players definitely go to a lot more. They try to go to almost every one. And the Duke football players come to our games as well. I've seen them in the stands quite a bit, supporting our team, and they're big fans of our team as well. So, we can't wait for that game. I think we play the same time as them.
We do.
That night,
Yeah.
so I won't be able to watch the game at the same time, but rooting hard for that 10-win season would be awesome.
It would be. It's just the second one in school history if they could win the bowl game.
Wow.
And congratulations, too, to Robbie Church and women's soccer. A great run that they had this year and a great career for Coach Church.
Yeah, Robbie's an amazing coach, and his standard of excellence to be at Duke for such a long period of time and put together so many quality teams and so many quality players. This team was fun to watch. Probably my favorite team since I've been. There's been some good ones. My favorite team to watch this year, and what a run for them to go back to the College Cup. It was awesome.
We've got some great folks here tonight, but a pretty special friend for you in the audience
Yeah,
tonight.
my buddy Johnny's here, my childhood best friend, but we're still best friends, and he's here with his wife Jen and his daughters Tessa and Avery. And Johnny was on a 12-month tour with the military, and he just got back in Thanksgiving serving our country. Yeah.
So thanks to him for his service. That's awesome. Coach, as we wrap it up, happy holidays to you and to everybody. We don't have another show till after the new year, but I know
we don't.
It's crazy.
Well, Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody out there. We'll look forward in the new year. We'll get our work done here in December, and can't wait for the rest of the season with this team.
That's going to be great, Coach. We'll see you next week against Wofford.
Thank you.
That's the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Thanks for joining us tonight for the Kara Lawson Show on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Live from GRUB Durham, you've been listening to the Duke Women's Basketball Radio Show. Our coverage of Duke Women's Basketball has been brought to you by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Blue Devil Sports Network.